The year was 2047. Humanity had spread beyond Earth, building small colonies on Mars and Europa. It was a time of hope and progress. Captain Diane Rogers stood on the bridge of the EDF warship Valiant watching the stars through the main view screen. Her ship was Earth's newest defender, built with the best technology humans had created. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange," said Lieutenant Jack Harrison. His eyes never left his scanner screen. "There's an object moving toward our solar system. It's not one of ours." Diane moved to his station. "Asteroid." "No, Mom. It's changing course on its own. And it's fast. Too fast." Diane straightened her uniform. She had been in the Earth Defense Force for 15 years, but nothing in her training had prepared her for this moment. "Alert command, and get me more information about this object." The bridge crew worked quickly. Engineer Susan Miller studied the energy readings, while Communications Officer Paul Bennett tried to detect any signals from the unknown vessel. "Captain," Susan called out, "these energy readings don't match anything in our database. Whatever this is, it's not human technology." Diane felt a chill run down her spine. First contact. After decades of searching the stars, intelligent alien life had found them instead. "It's accelerating toward Earth," Jack reported. "At current speed, it will reach orbit in 3 hours." Commander Eric Powell, Diane's second-in-command, stood beside her. "Orders, Captain." "Open all channels," Diane said. "Let's try to talk before we do anything else." Paul worked at his station. "Channels open, broadcasting on all frequencies." Diane took a deep breath. "This is Captain Diane Rogers of the Earth Defense Force warship Valiant *. We welcome peaceful contact. Please identify yourself." The bridge was silent as they waited. Minutes passed. "Captain, we're receiving a response," Paul said suddenly. I think it's translating our language in real time." The main screen flickered, showing a creature unlike anything they had seen before. It had purple-gray skin, 4 eyes, and what looked like breathing tubes along its neck. "Humans," the creature said, its voice deep and mechanical sounding. "I am Fleet Commander Xal Thur of the Zarthian Empire. Your presence in this sector violates our territorial claims. Your planet will surrender its resources immediately." Diane exchanged glances with Eric. "Commander Xal Thur, we were unaware of any territorial claims. Earth is our homeworld. We are open to peaceful discussions and establishing diplomatic relations." Xal Thur made a sound like grinding metal. "Primitive species have no diplomatic standing. You will comply or face elimination. You have 1 Earth hour to begin resource transfer protocols." The screen went dark. "They can't be serious," Eric said. Before Diane could respond, Jack shouted, "Energy spike from the alien vessel. They're charging weapons." "Shields up," Diane ordered. "Alert all Earth forces." But the Zarthian ship didn't fire at the Valiant *. Instead, a beam of bright green energy shot toward Earth, striking the Palmer Research Station in orbit. The station, home to 47 scientists and support staff, exploded in a ball of fire. "They destroyed Palmer Station," Paul whispered. "All those people, gone." Diane's hands gripped the command chair. "Send word to Earth. We are under attack." Within minutes, governments worldwide united as news of the attack spread. The long-theorized planetary defense shield, never before activated, hummed to life around Earth. All available Earth ships were scrambled to defensive positions. Admiral Samantha Carter, head of the Earth Defense Force, appeared on Diane's screen. Her face was grim. "Captain Rogers, you are authorized to defend Earth by any means necessary. The Valiant is our most advanced ship. You need to buy us time to evacuate key personnel to the underground shelters." Diane nodded. "Understood, Admiral." As the communication ended, Diane turned to her crew. "Battle stations. We're about to find out what the Valiant can really do." The Zarthian ship, 10 times larger than the Valiant *, moved closer to Earth. The first battle for humanity's survival was about to begin. Admiral Samantha Carter stood in Earth's Defense Command Center, surrounded by screens showing the positions of all 12 Earth combat vessels. It wasn't much of a fleet, but it was all humanity had. "The Zarthian ship is moving into attack position," said General Ryan Miller. "Our planetary shield is holding, but we don't know for how long." Samantha nodded. "Captain Rogers, what's your status?" On the main screen, Captain Diane Rogers of the Valiant looked determined. "We're in position behind Earth's moon. The Zarthian doesn't seem to have noticed us yet." "Good. Stay hidden until we need you." Inside the Zarthian warship, Commander Xalthur watched Earth with all 4 of his eyes. Pathetic. They think their shield will save them. He turned to his weapons officer. "Begin the bombardment. Target their major cities." Powerful energy beams struck Earth's shield, creating ripples of blue light across the atmosphere. On the ground, people watched in fear as the sky lit up with strange colors. In the engineering section of the Valiant Susan Miller was studying the data from the Zarthian attacks. "Captain, I'm noticing something about their shield technology," she said through the ship's communication system. "There's a pattern to the energy frequencies." "What kind of pattern?" asked Diane. "Their shields cycle through different frequencies. There's a 3-second gap when they fire their main weapons. The shields weaken at their rear section during that time." Diane smiled for the first time since the attack began. "Send that data to Admiral Carter immediately." At Defense Command, Samantha studied the information. "This could work," she said, "but we need to get them to fire their main weapons continuously." "We need a distraction," said General Miller. Samantha made her decision. "Activate Operation Firefly." Across Earth's lunar bases, small fighter ships powered up. There were 40 of them, each barely large enough for one pilot. They weren't designed for space combat, but they were fast and hard to hit. Pilot Kevin Martinez climbed into his fighter. "This is Gold Leader. All fighters report in." One by one, the pilots confirmed they were ready. None of them had ever fought aliens before. None of them had expected to be humanity's first line of defense. "Remember the plan," Kevin told his squadron. "We're not trying to destroy the Zarthian ship. We just need to keep them busy and firing their main weapons." The fighters launched from the moon, streaking toward the massive alien vessel. From the Zarthian bridge, they looked like tiny insects. "What are these?" asked Xalthur, annoyed. "Some kind of primitive attack craft." His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Vrel, looked concerned. "They're approaching from multiple directions." "Destroy them all," ordered Xalthur. The Zarthian ship began firing at the Earth fighters. Kevin led his squadron in a complex dance, darting between the energy beams, drawing the aliens' fire in different directions. "Now, Captain Rogers," Samantha ordered. The Valiant moved out from behind the moon, approaching the Zarthian vessel from behind. Diane watched as the alien ship fired its main weapons at the fighters. 3, 2, 1. "Their shields are cycling," reported Jack Harrison. "Rear shields at minimum power." "Fire everything we've got," ordered Diane. The Valiant unleashed its weapons directly at the vulnerable section of the Zarthian ship. The alien vessel shuddered as the attacks broke through its weakened shields. "Direct hit," shouted Eric Powell. "Their engine section is damaged." On the Zarthian bridge, alarms blared. "We've been hit," yelled Vrel. "How do they know about the shield cycle?" Xalthur roared in anger. "Impossible. These primitives can't have beaten our technology." The Zarthian ship began to drift, its main power systems failing. Earth's fighters continued their attack, targeting specific systems that Susan had identified as vulnerable. "They're disabled," Diane reported to Admiral Carter. "Their weapons and propulsion are offline." Samantha took a deep breath. "Prepare a boarding party. We need to capture their command crew alive if possible." As Earth forces prepared to board the alien vessel, news of the victory spread across the planet. Humanity had faced its first extraterrestrial threat and survived. But in the darkness of space, another Zarthian communication pod was already speeding away, carrying news of the defeat to the Zarthian Empire. Lisa Boyd had never expected to become humanity's first ambassador to alien life. 3 weeks ago, she had been a diplomat working on trade agreements between Earth nations. Now she stood in a massive chamber unlike anything humans had built, facing creatures from 27 different worlds. This was the Galactic Council, the governing body for spacefaring civilizations in this part of the galaxy. Lisa tried not to stare at the various aliens. Some looked almost human, while others were so strange she couldn't tell which parts were heads and which were limbs. At the center of the chamber sat High Speaker Grelmach of the Pleiadian Confederation, a tall being with blue skin and silver eyes. "This emergency session will now begin," Grelmach announced in a voice that seemed to echo inside Lisa's mind rather than reach her ears. On the opposite side of the chamber stood the Zarthian ambassador, a larger version of Commander Xal Thur with more elaborate breathing tubes. "The humans attacked and disabled one of our vessels without provocation," the Zarthian declared. "We demand punishment for Earth and reparations for our damages." Lisa stepped forward. She wore her best diplomatic suit, though it looked plain compared to the ornate garments of the other representatives. "With respect, High Speaker, the Zarthian account is false. We have evidence that their ship fired first, destroying an Earth orbital station with 47 people aboard." She activated a small device given to her by Earth's scientists. A holographic display appeared, showing recordings from the Valiant and other Earth sensors. The Council watched as the Zarthian ship destroyed Palmer Station and began bombarding Earth's shield. Murmurs spread through the chamber. "These recordings could be fabricated," the Zarthian ambassador protested. "Our verification systems confirm they are genuine," said a small insect-like being that Lisa had learned was from the Arcturian collective. The Zarthian vessel clearly fired first. Grelmach's silver eyes narrowed. "Zarthian Empire, you claimed this was an exploratory mission that was attacked without cause. You lied to the Council. These humans occupy a star system within territory claimed by the Zarthian Empire centuries ago," the Zarthian ambassador insisted. "A claim never registered with or approved by this council," said another representative, a cloud of glowing particles somehow contained in a roughly humanoid shape. Back on Earth, scientist Alan Winters was studying the biology of the captured Zarthians. With him was Sub-Commander Vrel, who had been injured during the battle. "Your species is fascinating," Alan told Vrel as he examined a blood sample. "Your cellular structure is completely different from ours." Vrel watched the human with 3 of his 4 eyes. One had been damaged in the battle. "You speak as if you've never encountered other life forms before." "We haven't," Alan replied. "Your ship was humanity's first contact with alien life." Vrel's breathing tubes expanded in what might have been surprise. "Impossible. Your defensive capabilities and your ability to exploit our shield weakness. How could a species with no prior contact achieve this?" Alan smiled. "We're good at figuring things out under pressure." Later that day, Alan met with Admiral Carter and other Earth leaders. "The Zarthians evolved on a high-gravity world with thin atmosphere," he explained. "They're physically stronger than us, but they tire quickly. Their technology compensates for their limited endurance." "And humans?" asked Admiral Carter. "By galactic standards, we're endurance champions. Most species can't understand how we can keep working for 8 to 12 hours without rest, and our adaptability is apparently off the charts." In the council chamber, the debate continued. Some members viewed humans as dangerous primitives who had gotten lucky against the Zarthians. Others saw potential allies who had stood up to an aggressive empire. "The Council has reached a decision," Grelmach announced finally. "Earth will be placed under observation but recognized as a sovereign world. The Zarthian Empire is forbidden from further aggressive actions against Earth." The Zarthian ambassador's breathing tubes darkened with anger. "This is outrageous. The Empire will not accept these terms. The Empire will comply, Grelmach stated firmly, or face sanctions from the entire Council. As Lisa prepared to return to Earth with news of the Council's decision, she didn't notice the Zarthian ambassador sending a secret message to his homeworld. Prepare the battle fleet. The humans must be eliminated before they join the Council. 6 months had passed since the Galactic Council's ruling. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined. Scientists and engineers worked day and night, studying the captured Zarthian ship and adapting its technology for human use. Colonel Frank Daniels stood in a large training room at the New Earth Defense Academy. Before him were 30 soldiers from different countries, along with 5 aliens who had requested to join Earth's forces. Today we begin real combat training, Frank told them. The Zarthians are physically stronger than humans, but they lack our endurance. Remember that in a prolonged fight, you have the advantage. One of the aliens, a slender being named Krell from the Rigelian systems, raised a hand. The Zarthians will not fight alone next time. They have allies. Frank nodded. That's why we're grateful to have friends like you teaching us about different species. In another part of the facility, Dr. Olivia Garcia was testing a new weapon. It looked like a standard rifle, but inside it contained technology adapted from the Zarthian energy weapons. Power output is stable, she told her team. This version uses 30% less energy than the previous model, but has 40% more stopping power. Her assistant watched as the weapon fired a blue energy beam that cut through 3 layers of battle armor. Will it be enough against a Zarthian battle cruiser? No single weapon will be, Olivia admitted, but we're not building just one. On the other side of the world, Intelligence Officer William Peters sat in a dark room, listening to space transmissions. The aliens who secretly supported Earth had provided technology to intercept and translate Zarthian communications. William suddenly sat up straight, adjusting his headphones. That can't be right, he muttered. He listened again, then reached for his secure phone. Admiral Carter. This is Peters. You need to see this immediately. 2 hours later, Earth's defense leaders gathered in an underground command center. William played the intercepted message for them. The battle fleet will reach the human solar system in 14 days, the translated voice said. 50 warships, including the Empire's flagship. Earth's destruction will be complete. The room was silent. Captain Diane Rogers, recently returned from a training mission to Mars, spoke first. 50 ships. We barely managed to defeat one. And we only have 30 combat-ready vessels now, added Admiral Carter. Even with the upgraded technology, we're outnumbered. Ambassador Lisa Boyd, who had been working with alien allies on the Council, cleared her throat. I've received messages from 3 Council species. They're sending technical advisors to help us. It's against Council neutrality rules, but they're doing it anyway. Why would they risk helping us? Asked General Miller. Because the Zarthians have been expanding their empire for centuries, Lisa explained. Many Council species fear them but haven't dared to stand against them. They see Earth as the first real challenge to Zarthian power. Admiral Carter stood up. We need to activate Operation Thunderstrike. It's earlier than we planned, but we have no choice. Frank Daniels looked confused. What's Operation Thunderstrike? A last resort defensive plan, Admiral Carter explained. We've been hiding our best ships and weapons in case of another attack, and we've been working on something the Zarthians won't expect. On Mars Colony, colonists were being evacuated to underground shelters. Governor Peter Allen supervised as families moved essential belongings. Will we be safe here? Asked a young boy. Peter knelt down. Yes, but we'll do more than hide. Mars has some surprises for the Zarthians too. On Europa, similar preparations were underway. The small colony there had been building special ships designed to move through the ice and water of the moon. Back on Earth, Admiral Carter addressed the United Earth governments. The Zarthian fleet will arrive in 2 weeks. They think they're coming to destroy an easy target. Let's show them how wrong they are. As Earth prepared for war, the massive Zarthian battle fleet moved through space, led by Admiral Kelthor, who had sworn to wipe out the human race and claim their resource-rich planet for the Empire. The Zarthian fleet appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system, like a wall of metal against the stars. 50 massive warships, each one larger than anything humans had built, moved in perfect formation toward Earth. Admiral Samantha Carter stood in Earth Defense Command, watching the enemy approach on the main screen. Around her, military personnel from every Earth nation worked at their stations. The room was quiet except for the soft beeping of computers and occasional whispered commands. "They'll reach Mars orbit in 3 hours," said General Miller. Samantha nodded. "Launch all ships. Defensive Formation Alpha." Earth's 30 vessels moved into position. They looked small compared to the Zarthian warships, but each one carried new weapons and shields based on alien technology. Aboard the Valiant Asterisk, now upgraded with Zarthian-inspired systems, Captain Diane Rogers addressed her crew. "We've faced them before and won. Remember your training. Today we fight for the survival of our species." Lieutenant Jack Harrison monitored his scanner. "Captain, the Zarthians are launching fighter craft. Hundreds of them. Deploy our fighters," Diane ordered. "Kevin, you know what to do." Pilot Kevin Martinez led 200 Earth fighters toward the approaching enemy. "Gold Squadron, take the left flank. Blue Squadron, right flank. Remember to use the sun's radiation to mask your approach." The battle began with an explosion of light as the first energy beams crossed the darkness of space. Earth's planetary shield activated, covering the blue planet in a shimmering protective layer. From his flagship, Zarthian Admiral Kelthor watched with confidence. "Their defenses are primitive. Begin the bombardment. Target their major population centers." Massive energy cannons fired at Earth. The planetary shield absorbed the first attacks, but began to flicker under the sustained assault. "Shield power at 70% and dropping," reported an officer in Earth Defense Command. General Miller looked concerned. "At this rate, it will fail within 2 hours. Hold steady," Samantha said. "We need to wait for the right moment." Lieutenant Harrison on the Valiant Asterisk suddenly called out, "Captain, I'm detecting energy signatures targeting civilian areas. They're trying to hit our cities directly." Diane's face hardened. "All ships, engage as planned. Focus fire on their weapon systems." Earth vessels darted between the larger Zarthian ships, firing precisely at weapon ports. Some took heavy damage, but continued fighting. In the engineering section of the Valiant Asterisk, Susan Miller monitored the new shield systems she had helped design. "The modified shields are working better than expected, Captain. We can take more hits than we planned for." "Good," Diane replied. "We'll need that advantage. Prepare for attack run on their flagship." The Valiant Asterisk accelerated toward the center of the Zarthian fleet, where Admiral Kelthor's massive command ship directed the battle. Several Earth vessels followed, providing cover. On Mars, hidden launchers suddenly emerged from the red surface. Governor Peter Allen gave the order. "Fire." Missiles streaked from Mars toward the rear of the Zarthian fleet, catching them by surprise. At the same time, small attack craft burst from Europa's icy surface, targeting the Zarthian ships from below. Admiral Kelthor raged as his fleet took fire from unexpected directions. "Impossible. The humans can't have weapons on those outposts." The Valiant Asterisk reached firing position near the Zarthian flagship. "Fire everything we have," Diane ordered. Earth's most powerful weapons struck the Zarthian flagship, causing massive damage to its propulsion systems. Other Earth ships concentrated their fire on the same target, following Diane's lead. Back on Earth, the planetary shield was failing under continued bombardment. "Shield at 30%, reported a technician. "Major breaches forming over North America and Asia." Samantha watched grimly as the battle reached its critical point. Earth's forces were fighting bravely, but they were still outnumbered. The Zarthian fleet had taken damage but continued pressing their attack. The planetary shield flickered dangerously. "We can't hold out much longer," General Miller said quietly. Samantha touched her communications device. "Ambassador Boyd, we need that help now." Across the solar system, hidden quantum communicators activated, sending a desperate message to Earth's secret allies on the Galactic Council. High Speaker Grelmach of the Galactic Council sat in his private chamber, watching the battle for Earth through a quantum observation device. The technology allowed council members to monitor important events across the galaxy in real time. Several other council representatives stood with him, their faces showing various signs of concern. "The Zarthians ignored our direct order," said Trelvox of the Arcturian Collective, his insect-like features clicking in agitation. "They were forbidden from attacking Earth." "Yet they sent 50 warships," replied another council member, a gaseous being named Zeph from the Nebula Confederation. "Their largest battle fleet in a century." Grelmach's silver eyes narrowed as he watched Earth's defenders fighting against impossible odds. "The humans fight well for such a young species. We should intervene." Trelvox insisted. "Council law requires us to enforce our rulings. Intervention would risk drawing us into a war with the Zarthian Empire," said Grelmach carefully. "We must consider all consequences." As they debated, the chamber door opened. Ambassador Lisa Boyd entered, looking exhausted but determined. She had been working tirelessly to secure help for Earth since learning of the approaching Zarthian fleet. "High Speaker, honored council members," she said with a formal vow. "I come with urgent news. Earth's planetary shield is failing. Millions of civilians will die if the Zarthians break through." "We are aware," Grelmach said quietly. "We are discussing appropriate action." Lisa's diplomatic composure cracked slightly. "Discussing? While my people die?" She stepped forward, her voice rising. "You claimed Earth was under council protection. You told the Zarthians to stay away. And now you sit here discussing while they try to wipe us out." The council members looked startled at her outburst. Such emotional displays were rare in council chambers. "You dare assault Earth, and then do nothing." Lisa continued, her eyes meeting each alien gaze in turn. "Is this what council protection means? Empty words while innocent people are massacred." Trelvox moved closer to Lisa. "Ambassador Boyd speaks truth. We must act or lose all credibility as a governing body." Grelmach stood slowly. "Ambassador Boyd, your passion does you credit. The council will vote immediately on intervention." The vote was quick. 22 species voted to intervene. 5 abstained. "The Council will dispatch peacekeeping forces to Earth's solar system," Grelmach announced. "The Zarthian Empire is formally censured for violating Council directives." But before the Council's forces could be organized, 3 member species broke protocol. The Arcturians, the Rigelians, and the Pleiadian Confederation sent their nearby ships directly to Earth's aid. They had been waiting just outside the solar system, anticipating this moment. Back in the battle, Earth's defenses were at breaking point. The planetary shield flickered dangerously, with large sections failing completely. 7 Earth ships had been destroyed. The others were damaged but still fighting. Captain Diane Rogers guided the damaged Valiant through the chaos of battle. "Keep firing on their flagship," she ordered. "We can't let up now." Suddenly, Lieutenant Harrison shouted, "New ships entering the system. Multiple signatures. Captain, they're not Zarthian." Diane looked at her tactical display. 20 sleek vessels were approaching rapidly from different directions. Their design was unlike anything she had seen before. "They're targeting the Zarthian fleet," Eric Powell reported with disbelief. They're helping us." Admiral Samantha Carter received the news at Earth Defense Command. "Ambassador Boyd came through," she said with a grim smile. "Council ships have arrived." A communication came through on all channels. "Attention Zarthian fleet. This is Council Enforcer Trelvox. You are in violation of Council Directive 735. Cease your attack on Earth immediately or face the consequences. From his damaged flagship, Admiral Kell Thor watched the Council vessels approaching. His fleet was already battling Earth's surprisingly effective forces. Now they faced Council ships as well. "The Council dares interfere," he growled. "This is a Zarthian matter." His weapons officer waited for orders. "Admiral, shall we withdraw?" Admiral Kell Thor's breathing tubes darkened with rage. "No. Target the Council ships. The Empire will not be dictated to by anyone." The Zarthian flagship fired on the approaching Council vessels, crossing a line that no species had dared cross in centuries. The Council ships moved with incredible speed, their advanced shields absorbing the Zarthian attack without visible damage. They returned fire with weapons far more powerful than anything Earth had seen before. 3 Zarthian warships exploded into bright balls of energy. "All Earth vessels, this is Council Enforcer Trelvox," came a transmission to the human fleet. "Coordinate your attacks with ours. Target these designated ships." Admiral Samantha Carter's voice reached all Earth forces. "You heard the Council. Follow their targeting data. Let's end this together." Earth ships and Council vessels attacked in perfect harmony, as if they had trained together for years. The Zarthian fleet, now caught between 2 forces, began to suffer heavy losses. On the Valiant Asterisk, Captain Diane Rogers saw an opportunity. "Their command ship is vulnerable. Prepare boarding teams." Lieutenant Jack Harrison looked shocked. "Captain, you want to board the Zarthian flagship." "They won't expect it," Diane said. "And we need to capture Admiral Kell Thor alive if possible." The Valiant Asterisk approached the damaged Zarthian flagship under cover of the larger battle. Using technology developed by engineer Susan Miller, they created a temporary breach in the Zarthian shields. "Boarding teams ready," reported Commander Eric Powell, checking his weapon. "We have 20 minutes before they can seal the breach." Diane nodded. "I'll lead Alpha Team." "Eric, you have command of the ship." "Captain." Eric protested. "You should stay on the bridge." "Not this time," Diane replied, checking her own weapon. "Let's go." 20 Earth soldiers in space armor moved through the breach and into the massive Zarthian vessel. They split into 3 teams, heading for the engine room, weapons control, and the bridge. On Earth, Dr. Olivia Garcia was monitoring the battle from a scientific station. "The modified nuclear weapons are ready," she told Admiral Carter through a secure channel. These weren't ordinary nuclear bombs. Earth scientists had combined human nuclear technology with alien tech to create something new. Weapons that created massive disruption fields rather than simple explosions. "Deploy them against the Zarthian support ships," ordered Samantha. 10 small, unmanned craft launched from Earth, each carrying one of Dr. Garcia's special weapons. They slipped past the main battle and detonated near a cluster of Zarthian supply ships. No explosion occurred, but a strange purple field expanded rapidly. The Zarthian ships caught in the field suddenly lost power, drifting helplessly in space. Colonel Frank Daniels led ground forces against Zarthian troops that had managed to land in Africa. The aliens were physically stronger, but as the battle dragged on, the humans' superior endurance began to show. The Zarthians tired, their movements slowing. "Keep pushing them back," Frank shouted as his soldiers advanced. "They can't maintain their strength." Inside the Zarthian flagship, Captain Diane Rogers and her team fought their way toward the bridge. The ship's corridors were filled with smoke and flashing emergency lights. Occasionally, they encountered Zarthian crew members, quickly subduing them with stun weapons. "The bridge should be through this door," said a soldier named Steve Grant, checking a scanner they had developed based on Zarthian technology. "Breach it," Diane ordered. The door exploded inward. Diane's team rushed onto the bridge, weapons ready. Admiral Kell Thor stood at the center, his breathing tubes dark with rage. Several Zarthian officers reached for weapons but stopped when they saw they were outnumbered. "Admiral Kell Thor," Diane said, "your fleet is defeated. Surrender now." Kel-4 glared at her with all four eyes. Humans, how is this possible? You were nothing but primitives a year ago. We learn fast, Diane replied. And we don't give up. Outside, the combined Earth and Council forces had routed the Zarthian fleet. Of the 50 ships that had arrived to destroy Earth, 30 were destroyed or disabled. The rest were surrendering or retreating. On the Galactic Council observation platform, High Speaker Grelmach watched in amazement. Extraordinary, he said quietly. They not only survived but captured the Zarthian flagship. The humans have earned their place among spacefaring races, said Trelvox. They defended their world against overwhelming odds. And they did it with honor, added Zeph. They could have destroyed the entire Zarthian fleet, but they accepted surrenders. Grelmach nodded slowly. Earth has proven itself today. They will change the balance of power in our galaxy. 1 year after the battle that became known as the Earth Defense, the Galactic Council chamber was packed with representatives from all 27 member species. Today was special. Today, Earth would officially join their ranks as the 28th member. Ambassador Lisa Boyd walked into the chamber wearing a formal blue uniform that had been designed specially for this occasion. Behind her came Admiral Samantha Carter, Captain Diane Rogers, and several other humans who had played key roles in defending Earth. High Speaker Grelmach stood to greet them. Welcome, representatives of Earth. This day has been long awaited. The ceremony was simple but meaningful. Lisa signed the Council Charter using both traditional ink on paper and the Council's quantum signature system that could not be forged. Earth is now a full member of the Galactic Council, announced Grelmach, with all rights and responsibilities that entails. The chamber filled with the various sounds that represented applause among the different species. Many had come to respect humans over the past year, impressed by how quickly they adapted to galactic politics and technology. Later that day, Captain Diane Rogers, now promoted to Admiral, attended a smaller ceremony where she was appointed as Earth's military liaison to the Council. She wore her new Admiral's uniform proudly. Your tactics during the Zarthian battle are now studied in Council military academies, Trelvox told her. Particularly your decision to board the enemy flagship. Most species would consider that too risky. Diane smiled. Humans have a saying. Sometimes the boldest move is the safest one. Back on Earth, Ambassador Boyd was finalizing negotiations with representatives from the Zarthian Empire. After their defeat, the Zarthians had been forced to pay significant reparations to Earth. These resources will help rebuild the damaged areas and strengthen Earth's defenses, Lisa told the Zarthian diplomat, who was not Admiral Kel-4, but a lower-ranking official. The Admiral was still awaiting trial for war crimes. The Empire acknowledges its error in judgment regarding Earth, the Zarthian said stiffly. It was clear he didn't believe it, but his government had ordered him to say it. Earth was changing rapidly. Alien technology was carefully integrated into human society. 22 different alien species had established diplomatic relations with Earth, and small communities of non-humans had begun settling in specially designed areas adapted to their environmental needs. Admiral Carter inaugurated the first Earth-built starship that used hybrid human-alien technology. It was named the Unity Asterisk, symbolizing the new cooperation between Earth and the galactic community. This ship represents humanity's future, she said at the launch ceremony. Built by human hands but inspired by galactic knowledge. On the Galactic Council, Lisa Boyd proposed a new addition to interstellar law. It became known as the Earth Doctrine. Technological disparity does not diminish a species' right to sovereignty and self-determination, she explained to the Council. No species may claim another's homeworld based solely on having more advanced technology. The proposal passed with 25 votes in favor. Even the Zarthian Empire, chastened by its defeat, voted to support it. Humans began serving on Council peacekeeping vessels, bringing what alien commanders called unique problem-solving approaches to various situations. Human endurance and adaptability made them valuable crew members. Dr. Olivia Garcia headed a new research institute where scientists from many worlds work together. "We learn from each other," she told visitors. "Humans have creativity that surprises many alien scientists, while they have knowledge we've never imagined." Colonel Frank Daniels, now General Daniels, trained the first mixed-species military unit, preparing them to defend not just Earth, but other peaceful worlds if needed. In the Council Observation Room, High Speaker Grelmach and Trelvox watched Earth's rapid progress. "They've accomplished in 1 year what takes most species decades," said Trelvox. "Imagine where they'll be in a century." "The Zarthians did the galaxy a favor by attacking Earth," Grelmach replied. "They awakened a sleeping giant that might have otherwise taken centuries to join us." And the humans' first question when joining Galactic Society wasn't about power or technology, Trelvox noted. It was, "How can we help?" Across the stars, a new saying began spreading among the galactic species, "as adaptable as a human." It was the highest compliment one could receive.